All right, Math 1 students, let's take a look at lesson 2.9 on how to distribute to turn point-slope form into slope-intercept form. So point-slope form is this long one right here that has the three numbers, and here's the form. But what we're going to do is distribute. Distribute means multiply, so we are going to multiply the slope, and then we will add like terms to turn it into slope-intercept form, which is the small one with the slope and the y-intercept point. So this form has 0b, the y-intercept, but this form has an x comma y point instead. So here are the steps, okay? Step 1, you find the slope and then you distribute it into the parentheses. So our slope right here is -4. We are going to multiply it by x, and then we're going to multiply it here. So first we're going to drop down f of x equals. Make sure you copy those. -4 times x, that's just -4x. And this is -4 times -1. So when we use our calculator, -4 times -1, what does that make? A +4, so we say +4. And we're going to drop down the -6. So step 1 was to distribute, which again means multiply. But the second step is to combine any of your like terms by adding them together. So right here we have two numbers. We're going to put those together. Let's drop down f of x and the equal sign, and let's drop down -4x. And now I will add these like terms. So 4 is a positive. -6, what does that make? Since it is -2, I will put -2. And so this is slope-intercept form. It's called that because the slope is right there. The slope is -4. And the intercept, the y-intercept, is 0, -2. In the long form, you do not have the y-intercept. You have a point. The random point from this equation was +1, -6. Let's practice that again. We have a point-slope form, and they want us to change it. When you look at this equation, what is the point that this equation has? When we see -5, it's a +5, so the x is always opposite. The y number is always alone. But now we are going to change it. So let's find the slope, which is 2. +2 gets distributed. So y equals, drop down the 3. +2 times x makes +2x. +2 times -5. +2 times -5 makes a -10. So let's put -10. And then the second step would be to add the like terms. So we have y equals, I'm going to write down the 2x first. And these like terms right here, 3 minus 10. So now it is subtract. 3 minus 10 makes a -7. So let's say -7. So the long form has now been turned into the short form, which is called slope-intercept. The slope is in front of the x, and the y-intercept is always the point with 0, -7. So the point changed from two numbers into the y-intercept number. Let's try it with a fraction. The steps are the same. Let's just be careful here. We will drop down the f of x and the equal sign. So now we will multiply negative 2/5 times x. How do you do a number times an x? You just write it down. And now we will do negative 2/5 times positive 5. Let's use our calculator to get the fraction. Negative 2/5 times 5. What does that make? It makes a negative, so let's write -2. Don't forget to drop down the -6. So now we have to do the second step, which is to add the like terms. So f of x equals, I like to write the slope first with the x, but you could put the numbers if you want. -2 minus 6 makes a -8. So we write -8. So the slope is in front of x, -2/5. And the y-intercept point is 0, -8. If I look at this longer equation here, the point would have been -5, because it's opposite, -6. But now the point is the y-intercept point. I also want you to notice something here. The slope in the beginning of the equation is the same as the end of the equation. The slope does not change. We're just using a different point. Let's take a look at a graph to explain this. So this graph, this line right here, has many, many points, even more points on it. To write a slope-intercept, okay, we need a slope and we need a y-intercept using the b. So let's look at this graph first. The slope is definitely increasing up 2 over 3. So the slope is up 2 over 3. And they want us to use the b. So the b, the point on the y-axis, is 0, -1. So y equals, the slope goes in front of the x -1. So that is an equation for this line using that point, 0, -1. That's a really nice point to use. Now they want us to write a point slope equation using any point, not the 0 point. I will use this one right here, 3, 1. You can also use this one here if you like, -3, -3, but I like positives. So y equals, okay, what do we always put in front of the x? The slope. The slope must go in front of the x. And now I'm using this point. Since that is +3, what do I put here? -3 + 1. That is a point slope equation using any point. And now they want us to distribute and combine like terms. So we will multiply the fraction, the slope, into the parentheses. 2/5 times x makes 2/5 x. What does 2/5? I'm sorry, that's a 3, not a 5. That's 2 over 3. Oopsies. What does 2/3 times -3 make? 2/3 is the fraction times -3. That makes -2 minus 2. And don't forget to bring down the 1. Are we done? No, we still have to combine like terms. We have 2/3 x minus 1. And so I just took point slope and I changed it into our slope-intercept form. And it was the same. These are the same equations, just different ways of writing them. We can also take a look at a table. Let's make an equation here. 2 things you need to know to make an equation, okay? The key features. What are key features? A point and a slope. I will choose this first point right here. And then the slope, I have to look on the outside. This is going down. 8 minus how much makes -2? 8 minus 10 makes -2. So we have -10 here, and this is also going down, -2. So when I write my slope, -10 over -2. Can we reduce that slope? The reduced slope is 5/1. And so now we can write the equation. Y equals the slope goes in front of the x. When we see +4, what do we put in our equation? -4, and the y number goes alone. Now they want me to change this into slope-intercept form. Okay, I will do that by multiplying the slope into the parentheses. 5/1x minus 5 times 4 is 20 plus 8. And after you distribute, what is the next step? To add these like terms. So y equals 5x, and -20 plus 8 makes -12, so -12. And that is the slope-intercept form. In this form, there's 2 things we know. The slope is 5/1, and the y-intercept is 0, -12. If we take these key features and put them on the graph right here, the y-intercept is -12. We will have to go up 5 and over 1. To go up 5, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over 1. Up 5 takes me to 7. Up 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over 1. This is 2, 4, 5 over 1. Each box is 2. So when we go up 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over 1. And so this line right here, using the slope and that point, is on the graph paper. Don't forget to draw your arrows. But if I look, this point, 4, 8, is right here on the graph. 4, 8 is one of the points. Great job, Math 1. I need you to practice distributing the slope into the parentheses.